You're the best.
Check one.
I think I have too much for this.
Hello.
Hello.
Share that one, Sherry.
Test, 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 test.
good. Welcome to the Coastal High School Board of Directors meeting for Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. LaTanya, could you establish a quorum for us, please?
Excuse me. Rita, Chairwoman.
Present.
Christy Evans, Vice Chair. LaTanya Goodson, Secretary. Nancy Poole. That's our virtual.
Mhm.
Dr. Suzanne Horn.
Here.
Grant Ludman.
Present.
Jill Narenstein.
Present.
Clay Piaski.
Piasek.
Piasek. I'm gonna get it one day. And Emily Willis.
Very good.
One absent.
Yes, and we have established a quorum. Very good. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to be here with us. We have a mission statement. Coastal High School's mission is to engage students in authentic project-based learning that will improve academic achievement, critical and creative thinking, and awareness of their leadership roles in our community and environment. Board vision statement. The purpose of the board of Coastal High School is to ensure that the school is achieving the outcomes from which the school was chartered while operating within the parameters of the charter. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And, oh, there it is. You got it, Susan?
Mhm.
Next item on the agenda is the FOIA compliance. And we have verification that the agenda was posted on the doors of the school and on the website at least 24 hours in advance. Thank you for that. Next item on the agenda is public comment. We have no one signed up for public comment. Next item, agenda approval for the April 14th, 2026 meeting. That agenda was available or is available in Dropbox for your review. Is there a motion to accept the minutes from that meeting?
So moved.
Jill, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Very good.
Emily.
Emily, yes, I think just by a hair, by a nose, they would say. All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Thank you, Nancy. Wonderful. The motion passes unanimous. All right. Oh, I have to go back. I apologize. I missed. Is there a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Okay. Grant makes that motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Okay. Nancy. Tanya. All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Very good. The motion carries. All right. Very good. All right. The next item on the agenda is guest discourse. Welcome, Dr. Carpenter. We're so glad to see you here again with us. Hope
Thank you, everybody. Good to see you again. I wish I was down there enjoying the proximity of the beach, but it is good to be back in North Central Tennessee. So you've had my report for about a week. The more you come to know me, the more you will come to understand. I absolutely deplore being read to in any kind of meeting, and consequently, I deplore reading to others in any kind of meeting. Just to summarize my report at a very big level, I would tell you this, that my perception, having spent a week observing and having a lot of conversations and all of that, is that you, as I had said in your original retreat, I think you're doing a fantastic job despite the just unbelievable sea levels of change going on with the whole switch to another authorizer and the anticipated massive growth in enrollment. You've got, when I last looked at your financial reports, you had such an astonishing net income at that period. I had to call your accountants and ask, is this for real? Because I'm just not used to seeing that kind of positive performance by a school. Bottom line, I didn't see a thing that leads me to have any concern about the long-term viability and sustainability of the school, which is another way of saying that the risk management recommendations I made for you are vanilla. They're the kinds of things that I would literally say to any school. With that said, I did help compose your agenda, and so under new business, you'll see that I am recommending in this meeting that you adopt my recommendations 4, 5, and 9, which are basically just policies and a standard order of business. And I think the code of conduct was number 9. But with all that laid out, let me just kind of ask you all, would you like to ask questions of me?
Anyone? Give everyone a moment. I know that we had discussed, Brian, continuing this conversation in July as well to continue with best practices as we get ready for what's ahead. As you mentioned, the change in the authorizer, the increase in enrollment, adjustments to the budget, and getting used to those changes as well with higher numbers in students. Is there anything else you recommend in addition to that that is not in your report, but would be best practices as we continue to hone our best practices as board members?
I think it's just a case of basic blocking and tackling, and the only way to sort of get through a mountain of change like that is to put your plow in the down position and put your stick shift and drive and hit the gas and just start moving through it. The dirt will move, but that's not to say it isn't going to be work, and I think you all appreciate that. But no, I think you've got a good set of recommendations, and the other thing about this is, don't feel like you have to get all, I don't even remember the end count on this thing. But don't feel like, oh my gosh, we got to get all of this done in the next 3 weeks. Just use it as a checklist. Just kind of sit maybe as a board, not tonight, but sit as a board and management and just say, let's put these in priority and let's just start working our way through.
Okay, great. Anyone have questions? Any other questions? Okay, great. All right, well, we're so happy you were able to join us, and we wish you were here as well, but we'll look forward to hosting you again
Awesome.
in the summertime, and look forward to that. So thank you for all that you've done for us.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, and thank you for engaging me.
All right. The next item on the agenda is the financial report presented by Vera CPAs. Hi, ladies. We have them online here with us.
Hi, everybody. I am going to, we have, I think, a 2-part to-do list for this evening. It is to go over the March reports, and it's also to do another budget reading. I just wanted to make sure if that was on the agenda, and that's still a part of the itinerary for today.
We do not have it as an action item. Is that something we would need to approve this evening? Or just a second reading?
Is this gonna
The
be,
second reading would be the final approval that you all would need to do. Now, if it's not on your formal agenda, I don't know if, just from a compliance standpoint, if you all would be able to do it tonight, just kind of based off that. We might have to either do a special meeting for that, or possibly look at getting it approved in the June meeting if it's not on the agenda.
Okay, we can add it to the June agenda.
That's fine.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked to confirm.
Yes, thank you.
Just
Thank
to be
you.
sure and not just kind of dive in. you
Yes.
know? So, all right.
Thank you.
Let me share my screen here. All right, can somebody just confirm that I am sharing out? I am never as good with Google Meet.
Yes, we can see it perfectly.
Okay, perfect. So taking a look at the financial report, As it relates to March, obviously you guys have had a chance to kind of take a look at everything. We can see here from the executive summary that revenue on both the by month as well as the fiscal year to date are up year over year, as well as operating expenses. We kind of have outlined some of our similar key metrics that we've kind of incorporated into the report so that you can see where your cash balances are, as well as your due from authorizer. And those are anything that are typically going to be related to like your federal claims or programs, accounts payable, credit cards. And then we also make sure that we highlight where you guys are with your debt covenants. And that is your debt service ratio, as well as your days cash on hand. So you can kind of see here that right now your debt service ratio annualized is a 2.84 and days cash on hand is sitting at around 155. And so you can kind of see here, just looking at some of the revenue metrics, how things are kind of trending along from everything as it relates to like your base funding and state funding, in addition to like any of your federal pieces. Some of the higher level components, like we can take a look and see that purple line, just for a refresher, is what your budgeted surplus is. And you can see from February now going into March, you're still trending in that direction above that budgeted surplus line. We would fully expect that to continue throughout the rest of the course of this fiscal year. And then you can see here for your debt service coverage ratio, you are well above that target. And you can kind of see up here on that blue line, because again, the purple is usually what your target is. The blue is how you're actually performing. And so same thing with days cash on hand, well and above what your days cash on hand requirement is in regards to your debt covenants. So definitely no concerns there to kind of bring up or address. And so then kind of going into the reports, we'll kind of take a look kind of month over month at the statement of financial position, also known as the balance sheet. You can see that the sum of all of the bank accounts is still sitting at around 1.4 million. So up a little bit month over month, no significant kind of changes or concerns there. We can see that the total current assets is sitting at around 1.7 million. And some of the biggest components there are going to be like your prepaid, your due from authorizer, and the capitalized interest account with Building Hope. And then you can see there's no real significant changes to your fixed assets or security deposits. Those typically won't change consistently. That security deposit is usually tied to your benefits. You'll likely see a change with that come June, because typically what they'll do is they'll apply your security deposit towards your June bill and then bill you for a new security deposit, kind of based off of your new landscape in the month of July. And so we can see here that total assets for the month of March are sitting at around very similar, close to the 14.8 million month over month. Again, like not too significant of a swing any one month over for any of the asset categories. Accounts payable, kind of same thing going into our liability section. Still sitting at around 19 to 20,000 in accounts payable. Credit cards are sitting at around 8,000. Last month it was around like 5,900. And then you have your total current liabilities. And some of these are things like your accrued payroll that gets updated kind of once a year, any type of deferred revenue. And there are some items that are out there that are due to state and retirement liabilities. And we don't necessarily have those. The due to state got remitted in the month of March, and the timing, there was no retirement liability outstanding by the time we got to the end of the month. And so then we have your long-term liabilities as well as equity. So you can kind of see total liabilities and equity matching the total assets as would be expected there month over month. And then what we'll do is we can go and take a look at, as opposed to looking at the statement of revenue and expenditures as last month and year to date, like I think where people will normally find the most use are going to be taking a look at it in comparison to budget to actual. So if I skip down over here to budget to actual and zoom in, because that is very tiny, we can definitely see lots of green, which is great. So just as kind of a refresher, you can see you have your year-to-date actuals versus your year-to-date budget. And then we also kind of have the full year budget out here as well. So even just taking a look at it from where we are year-to-date for local funding, and you can kind of see the categories here, things like your interest income, the school store, student fees, things for pupil activities, as well as anything related to fundraising or other income. Total local income year to date is sitting at around 68,000, essentially 69. If we were to take a look at the rounding, so we can see here the full year budget we have at 92,000. So you can kind of see how things are trending there. And then we have our base funding, excuse me. Full year budget, we have like a $3.1 million budget. We're at about 84% of the way through that budget. So definitely running a little ahead, but still on track for there. So no cause for concern with your base funding. You can see your state funding, the total kind of shifts down here. That year-to-date actual, oh, and I need to correct myself. I actually read that wrong. Your year-to-date actuals for local funding is $178,000 against a $92,000 budget. So like that, I think I was reading through the wrong column there. So I wanted to go back and correct myself there as I looked at the header on the column. And you can see for state funding year-to-date, you guys are sitting at 27,000, and you can see that we're almost like right on target for where the full year budget is for state funding. Taking a look at your federal dollars, we are currently year-to-date actuals are sitting at around 123,000. The full year budget is sitting at 73. I think right now the full year budget looks like it may have possibly been missing some pieces, because the full year budget for Title I has 23,000, but we have around 65 there, as well as Title II was right on track. We actually have 47,000 versus the 40,000 budgeted originally for IDEA. So we probably had some shortfalls on that when we did the budget for the Title I, II, and IDEA versus what the actual allocations came in at, because we definitely have been able to claim the 123,000 in federal dollars. If we take a look at the total income, year-to-date actuals, we are sitting at a little over 3 million for all income, and the full year budget was sitting at around 3.3. So we're about 89%, 90% of the way through the budget, and we still have April, May, June. We still have fourth quarter, fiscal quarter to go as far as that's concerned. So definitely trending ahead there. And then if we go and take a look from that same lens, knowing that we're about 75% of the way through the year, we can see that personnel costs right now are sitting at around 1.5 million, full year budget of 1.8. So we're running at about 83% of our budget on personnel related costs. And that's all salary and fringe. That's your benefits, that's your retirement, that's all of those components. So then if we take a look at contracted services, we can see year-to-date actuals is currently showing at 275,000 year-to-date. Full year budget is a little over 300,000. So we're at 91%. The biggest line items attributable to that are going to be instructional services. And we can see that that right now is currently running at about double what that full year budget was. And we did make some of those considerations and adjustments based off of, the increased enrollment with the kids, them having to be serviced. So like we definitely took that into consideration when we do get to budgeting conversations next month. But taking a look at supply codes, we have our supply section here. And if we go down and kind of take a look at things in summary, we have year-to-date actuals of 100,000, a little more than that. Full year budget was 135,000. We're about 75% of the way through the year. We're at 74% of the way through the supply budget. So that one is actually running right in line in total. Which it looks like there probably were some more support supplies that were purchased. And that one's actually at 95%, but the instructional supplies are sitting at around 68. So you still, in total, as far as your supplies are concerned, are running in line in that category on your budget. Taking a look at facility-related costs, you can see that facility costs are currently sitting in total for year-to-date through March at $265,000, and full year budget was $475,000. We're at 56% of the way through that budget. So definitely taking a look at some of these items here, we can see that for the utilities, we're kind of running right on track, but like some of these other items that I think we had some estimates in that budget that just ended up being, you know, extremely conservative and didn't actually come to fruition. Like you can just see from operations, like how some of those differences kind of lined up. Other expenses are currently sitting at $47,000 on year to date, and then the full year budget was 23. So we are overrun on that category. But then if we take a look at pupil activities, we can also see that that was another category that the budget was underestimated at 41,000, and year to date actuals, we are sitting at 75,000. So taking a look at things from like a high level perspective, we can see here, and this is just the operating pieces, right? Because we still have our debt service components down here. Looking just from the operational space, that we can see that total expenses, we're sitting at around 2.3 million, right? On a $2.8 million budget. So we're about 82% of our way through there. So year to date, we're looking at the net operating income of 689,000 total, just based off of how much your revenue was versus where your expenses are kind of falling. And that's just from an operational standpoint. But you can still see that there is like your interest component down here. So like the year to date, the interest that's been paid out has been 137,000, which brings net income down to 551 on the year, which, I mean, originally the full year budget surplus was that 122,000. We're sitting at 551. That's why if you go back and you look at that summary kind of metric that we put earlier in the dashboard, you can see how much higher that is than what was originally budgeted for as a surplus. Any questions? I'll leave this up just in case there are some.
Nothing from here.
I will stop sharing so
there.
that way you guys
That's
can
great.
regain
Mhm.
control of the meeting.
Thank you. This looks great. And some of those areas where, as you mentioned, that we had underestimated and some we had overestimated, we'll balance those out with the operating budget for next year.
Correct.
Yes.
And we can kind of talk through again whenever we get to the budget reading in that next board meeting. Like that way, if there's any other concerns, we can kind of, again, make sure to highlight. I think we kind of talked through some of that with that first reading, but happy to kind of revisit any questions, any new questions that may have arisen as well as a result of that conversation next month.
Okay. Well, it looks great. No one has questions? No questions from here? Well, thank you for being with us. This is wonderful, and we'll look forward to seeing you in June and reviewing that new
sounds good.
budget for next year. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. The next item on the agenda is formal authorizer correspondence unique to the school. I have not received any correspondence from the South Carolina Public Charter School District that's unique to the school. Is there anything that, Sherry, that's come to your team?
No,
Nothing.
nothing that's unique to the school. We do have a visit with them Friday morning at 7.
Okay. Very good.
Does that seem abnormal? I mean, didn't we have a new authorizer? Shouldn't there be more correspondence going back and forth?
I think.
Or is it because they have so many
They have
charter schools
I
at the
think
same
it's-
time?
This will
that-
be their second
I'm
visit
sure
with
they're way
us.
behind in their checklists as
Yes,
well.
yes.
But this will be their second visit with us,
Okay.
and so they send us an agenda, we discussed the agenda the other day, so what we're gonna follow, what kind of
Mhm.
questions they have, and,
Yes.
meeting the people that are on their board, people that will be working with us.
And I have received an email from John Payne. There are two of them there. So this is the one who coordinates with the board to set
As long
up-
as I know that we are on their radar.
We are on their radar, but it's
That's-
nothing, it's
That's-
nothing unique
Seems like
to
there
us
should have been
and-
correspondence, but.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Well, I think
yes.
Sometimes when they, and I know Brian had helped us with this, I think unique to the school would be in case there's some sort of issue.
Right.
Or concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everything along the way now is
We're
everything.
okay so far.
Yep,
We're
they're
good- we're good to
sending
go.
out to all the
Great,
schools.
thank you.
Yes. Okay, great. Next item is the officers' report. For the board chair, besides just that, we'll be getting together with the Public Charter School District to talk about their best practices for boards and meeting and seeing how they can help us and guide us moving forward. And the only other item that I had is we're looking forward to attending graduation on May 27th at CCU. So hopefully everyone can join us there for that. Yes, 6 o'clock. So we usually arrive at 5:30 p.m. So if everyone's able to come, that would be great. This will be exciting. The first class graduating from the new building. So it'll be great.
We'll
We'll ride. Yes.
It's in the front, so go in from 501 and make the second right turn.
Okay.
And it's a big building.
Okay.
What's it called?
We'll like.
We'll
Wheel
ride.
right auditorium.
Yes.
It's just right off the road. It's not too
Yes.
deep in where you.
Yep. And we can send out the directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and FYI, anyone coming from 544 University Boulevard has been closed and they have ripped a good portion of it out. They're doing a new road to reroute because of construction, upcoming construction. So you'll have to go down to the next light and make a right if you come from 544.
All right. Next officer, board treasurer. Is there anything, Nancy, that you would like to report?
No, the only thing I want to say is I want to thank Sherry since she's been sending the financials to me and I've been getting them in plenty of time to review, to see if anything jumps out at me that I need to ask questions about. But the report was excellent. But I thank Sherry for the job she's been doing the past couple of months. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nancy. And then board secretary. Is there anything you have? No report from the board secretary. Very good. All right, we move on to item 11, the principal's report. You have a copy of that in your packet. And that had also been sent to us via email and in the Dropbox. Are there any highlights or anything you wanted to add or?
Just if you guys have any questions. I'm in a situation right this minute, kind of feel like I'm chasing my tail a little with the sign down there because they're waiting on another inspection and approval, and I signed up for power, and it's like everybody's waiting on everybody else. So the Alta survey came in, and that was part that they were waiting on. So I will contact her. I've been trying to call her at least once a week to see where we're at with that sign. So just know that we're working on it. And the box is there. I don't think the power is there, but we've signed up for the power, and I guess it's a separate power, which I didn't know about. We did confirm that we have flood insurance. That policy has been purchased just this past week. We got with them. We're also looking at doing there was a question about insurance, about making sure that we have the proper insurance and the right amount of insurance. And I have a man waiting to do an evaluation for us if by chance the bank says we need it. Self-help says they're fine, they've got everything they need. It's building hope that I'm waiting to hear back from. But I'm in contact with them last week just to ensure that we're giving them and have all the coverage that we are supposed to have as a school. We did have our major PBL on Saturday, which we're all very proud of, and it ended up being a great day. And my two leaders that helped with us run the whole thing are here tonight to celebrate with us and for you all to recognize them as doing all the hard work behind that scene to get that going and have that spring fling. It was fantastic. It's a great community event. The event was not meant to make money. It was meant to show ourselves in the community, and I think we did a great job of doing that. It's
Oh,
awesome.
That's
So
wonderful.
thank you them.
Say
and
thank
to all
you.
the staff.
Yeah, thank you. It was nice.
Job well done.
Mr. Z, yes.
And Emily
And Miss
Miller.
Emily Miller too,
Yes.
yeah, who wasn't able to stay tonight. But
Okay.
the other question I had for you all is the night of graduation, we have the board on the stage. And I know sometimes when you're a parent, you want to be in the stands like a parent, not sit on the stage. So if you all would let us know how many of you all would be there and be on the stage, we'll have your seats ready that evening.
I'm a parent.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay with that. That's okay.
All right.
And Grant, I'll ask Carrie what you're allowed to do.
You understand things very well.
But I am sending these out twice a month, and I'm trying to email them to y'all so you don't have to go into the Dropbox every time.
Yes.
So just to
It's
kind of
nice.
let y'all know what all's going on throughout the couple of weeks. It's I don't realize it's a lot until I start looking at it, and I'm like, okay, they don't need me to read all this to them, but it's all
Yes.
here, and if you have any questions about anything, you can contact me at any time. Just to clarify or you know, figure out what it is that we're doing. We did have a very unique interview process the other day. We had students sat in on our interview committee. We had 3 kids come in and they did a large part of the interviews. So that was a lot of fun and the kids really enjoyed that. And it's something that we want to continue to do as we grow as a school, is so that the kids have a voice in who's teaching them.
That's great. Anybody have questions? All right, thank you.
The roof, the alarm system, all of that.
We are still working through that. We have a fault. There's like TriTech has been working on that. They've been here about 4 times so far. There's a ground fault that sets off an alarm. It's nothing serious in the school. It doesn't mean there's a fire or anything wrong. It's just some sort of grounding fault. They are working through that. They've located it to the second room upstairs, but they're just trying to figure out exactly where that location is. So we're working on it.
Is the builder involved in that discussion?
Not
We're
really,
still-
he hasn't been, no,
We're
we
still
have,
within a year, I mean.
yes, we are,
We've
yeah.
identified the source of the leak, or we're still trying to
That's
figure
what
out. what that
TriTech is assuming that it is, it's not been actually determined yet. TriTech is thinking that it perhaps is a leak that's causing the fault, the ground fault, but it's like chasing down a needle in a haystack. I
And
think.
the air conditioner, is that, I mean, that's,
We have had
It's a
issues
brand
with
new
the
air conditioner.
Yes, I know.
Warranty.
Mhm. I
are
know.
they giving you a hard time with warranty,
No, the
service
has
and
been
all that?
wonderful.
Okay.
My concern is, and I'm looking into warranties and, moving forward what to do, because that's a major, concern that I have right now.
Who was the installer on the air conditioner?
We had 2 different air conditioners. We have York and I'm not sure the other name. I want to say it's Captive Air, but I'm not sure the brand name of the unit.
Who was the installer though?
Captive Air
Okay,
was the lead.
okay.
But there's 2 different types of units. So I have found recently, a potential contract with the company, but I'm not sure. So I need to contact that company and see if we'd actually followed through with that. So I'm talking with the
understand
guy.
the-
No, it's okay.
Some of the issues,
But I'm
but,
talking with them and I'm talking with the guy who's been here a lot to help us with the issues that we've had. And trying to weigh what's the best route to go. And, of course, that'll be a board decision.
yeah, I was gonna say, don't
Yes.
wait too long.
No,
If
I
we need
won't.
to get
I'm
involved,
not.
we absolutely will.
Yeah,
But those are the kind of things you gotta,
yes,
you might have to
Stay on top.
stay with
yes,
them
for sure.
and force the issue.
That's sort of my big concern right this minute, is some of those types of things.
Yeah.
Really maintenance.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Thank you for this, Sherry. It's very helpful, receiving the updates every 2 weeks. All right, next item on the agenda, number 12, board committee reports. We have none. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business, and in that category, we also have none. We can move on to new business. And as Dr. Carpenter spoke about earlier, he has recommended several policies for the board to adopt. And so the first recommendation that includes, make sure I read it fully, includes the no action until policy, the single voice policy, and the one voice policy as recommended on page 7 of his report. If everyone can get to that page. Okay. Very good. Do we have a motion regarding those policies?
Madam Chair, if I may interject,
Yes.
do you all see the sample wording of the policies in the appendix of the report?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Okay.
Just read it.
Yep.
I move that the Coastal High School Board of Directors hereby adopt the no action until policy, the single point of delegation policy, and the one voice policy as recommended on page 7 of Dr. Carpenter's report, effective immediately.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Jill seconds. Okay. Is there any discussion? All right. No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Very good. The motion carries unanimous. The next recommendation that we have is regarding a standard order of business for regular meetings. Do we have a motion?
I'm sorry. I move
Okay.
that Coastal High School Board of Directors hereby adopt the standard order of business for regular meetings as recommended on page 7 of Dr. Carpenter's report, effective immediately.
Very good. Do we have a second?
I second.
Emily, is there any discussion regarding the standard order of business? Okay, wonderful. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Very good. The motion carries unanimous. Thank you, Dr. Carpenter. We appreciate your guidance on these and making it easier for us to move forward with best practices. Thank you so much for that. Is there one more?
Yes.
Okay, let me grab my sheet. See if I have it. Hold on one second. 4, 5, and 9. Very good. Conduct. Yes, thank you. The last item is a motion. Is there a motion to adopt the Director and Officer Code of Conduct as recommended by Dr. Carpenter on page 8 of the report?
So moved.
Can you read the motion for us, please, Jill?
The entire page.
No, just number 3.
I move that the Coastal High School Board of Directors hereby adopt the Director and Officer Code of Conduct as recommended on page 8 of Dr. Carpenter's report, effective immediately.
Very good. And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second is Clay. Is there any discussion? Very good.
There's just some formatting. I'm fine.
You're good?
Yep.
Okay, very good. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? No nays. Very good. The motion carries unanimous. All right, very good. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, next order of business is the closed session. Do we have a motion to go into closed session at 6:42.
Move that we go into closed section.
All right, Latanya. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second is Clay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Very good. We are now in closed session.